Have you ever spent hours reading a book, practicing a skill, or studying for your future, only to wake up the next day and realize your mind is completely blank? Modern society has tricked us into believing that the faster we consume information, the faster we will learn and master a skill. But we are drowning in information while completely starving for true wisdom and mastery. The ancient samurai did not have the luxury of slow learning. If they took too long to master the blade, the penalty was not a bad grade, the penalty was death. Because of this brutal reality, Japanese monks and warriors developed the most efficient, terrifyingly fast psychological framework for human learning ever created. If you watch this video until the very end, you will understand the exact, step-by-step ancient formula to upload any skill into your brain 10 times faster than the average person. Chapter 1. The Empty Cup and the Illusion of Knowledge. The greatest barrier to learning something new is not a lack of intelligence. It is the arrogant belief that you already know enough. There is a famous Zen story of a highly educated, wealthy scholar who traveled deep into the mountains to learn about Zen from a legendary monk. When the scholar arrived, he immediately began talking, boasting about the books he had read, the masters he had met, and the deep philosophies he already understood. The Zen monk listened silently and began to pour the scholar a cup of tea. He poured until the cup was completely full, but then the monk kept pouring, allowing the hot tea to spill over the edges, across the table, and onto the floor. The scholar jumped back in shock and shouted, "Stop! The cup is overfull. No more tea will go in." The Zen monk set the teapot down and said, "Like this cup, you are entirely full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I possibly teach you anything new unless you first empty your cup? When you attempt to learn a new skill today, you carry the heavy baggage of your ego, your impatience, and your preconceived notions of how fast you should succeed. To learn 10 times faster, you must completely abandon your ego. You must willingly become a fool, a beginner, and an empty vessel." Chapter 2. The Musashi Principle. From one thing, know 10,000. Miyamoto Musashi is remembered as the greatest swordsman in Japanese history, remaining undefeated in 60 life-or-death duels. But what most people do not know is that Musashi was also a master painter, an expert calligrapher, a brilliant sculptor, and a legendary architect. How could one man master so many incredibly difficult, completely unrelated skills in a single lifetime? In his legendary Book of 5 Rings, Musashi revealed his ultimate secret to learning. From one thing, know 10,000 things. Most people fail at learning because they try to memorize thousands of individual, unconnected details, exhausting their brain's capacity. It is like trying to understand a massive oak tree by memorizing the exact shape of every single one of its 10,000 leaves. Musashi did not study the leaves, he studied the roots, because if you understand the root system, you automatically understand the entire tree. When Musashi learned how to perfectly balance his posture to swing a sword, he realized that exact same physical balance applied to holding a paintbrush. When he learned how to read the rhythmic breathing of his enemy in combat, he used that exact same understanding of rhythm to create masterpiece paintings. To learn 10 times faster, stop trying to memorize tricks, hacks, and shortcuts. Instead, obsessively study the absolute core fundamentals. Find the universal root principle of the skill you are trying to learn. And once you grasp that single truth, 10,000 complexities will suddenly make sense. Chapter 3. The Shuhari Framework. The Blueprint of Mastery. The ancient Japanese martial arts contain a 3-step architectural framework for accelerated learning, known as Shuhari. The first stage is Shu, which means to obey, to protect, and to fiercely maintain the exact rules of the master. In the modern world, when a beginner starts a new skill, they immediately try to get creative, skip the basics, and develop their own unique style. This arrogance guarantees failure, because you cannot break the rules of a discipline until you actually understand why those rules exist. In the Shu stage, you must check your ego at the door, put your head down, and perfectly copy the proven fundamentals thousands of times without questioning them. This stage is painful, it is boring, and it requires severe discipline, but it is the only way to build a foundation that will not crumble under pressure. Once the basics are permanently ingrained in your muscle memory, you enter the second stage, known as Ha, which means to detach and digress. In the Ha stage, your foundation is so strong that you can safely begin to question the rules, experiment with different techniques, and find what works for your unique body and mind. You study other masters, you mix philosophies, you discard what is useless to you, and you begin to innovate. Finally, after years of relentless obsession, you reach the ultimate stage of learning, known as Rai, which means to leave, to transcend, and to become the rule itself. In the Rai stage, you no longer have to think about the technique. The technique flows entirely through your subconscious mind. You are no longer a student learning the art. You have become the art, acting with a mind completely free of hesitation, a state the samurai called Mushin, or no mind. Chapter 4, Ikigo Ikie, the superpower of radical focus. The modern world has destroyed our ability to learn quickly because we constantly divide our attention, checking our surroundings, worrying about the future, and regretting the past. You cannot master a skill rapidly if you only give it 20% of your conscious attention. The Japanese tea ceremony and the samurai warriors both practiced a philosophy called Ikigo Ikie, which translates to one time, one meeting. This philosophy dictates that the exact moment you are experiencing right now will never, ever happen again in the history of the universe. When a samurai practiced his sword swings in the morning, he did not treat it like a casual, boring exercise. He swung the wooden sword with the absolute radical intensity of a man whose life depended on that exact, singular movement. When you sit down to learn something new, you must ruthlessly cut away all distractions. You must treat that hour of study as a life-or-death battle for your future. If you can achieve the state of radical presence, focusing intensely on one single task without a single wandering thought, your brain will absorb information 10 times faster. The truth is, speed in learning is an illusion. Real speed is achieved by moving slowly, deeply, and deliberately without making mistakes. A master does not learn faster because he rushes. He learns faster because he does not waste his energy on useless movements. Chapter 5, The Art of Subtraction. Hacking away the unessential. The final secret of the samurai learning framework is the philosophical concept of subtraction. Average people believe that learning means constantly adding new information, new techniques, and new complexities to their minds. But the Zen masters knew that true mastery is actually a process of profound, brutal elimination. You do not need to read 50 books on a subject to master it. You need to read the best book 50 times until it rewrites your subconscious. The highest level of any skill looks incredibly simple to the untrained eye, because the master has stripped away every single unnecessary movement. Your goal is not to accumulate a mountain of useless facts. Your goal is to sharpen your mind into a razor blade that can cut through any obstacle. Empty your cup, find the root principle, submit entirely to the boring basics, and treat every moment of practice as if it is your last day on earth. This is the ancient, untouchable path of the immovable mind, the secret to learning 10,000 things from mastering just one. If you have watched this far, you possess the rare discipline required to break the rules of the modern world and truly master your craft. Leave the word Meister or the Torii Gate emoji in the comments below to cement your commitment to the path of Shuhari. Until next time, keep your mind empty, your focus sharp, and your spirit unbreakable.